Well, Deb Murphy filed this report for Sierra Wave Media. The embezzlement trial of Kenneth and Don D. Rossi was scheduled to start yesterday, but has been postponed until January 25th with a confirmation conference on January 7th. According to Tom Hardy, Inyo County District Attorney, Don D. Rossi's attorney, David Evans, was ordered by a federal judge to be at a different trial in November. Said Hardy by email, "The delay is unfortunate, but it would have been very difficult to schedule a trial of this size during the holidays." And the Rossis were arrested 2.5 years ago on 44 felony counts, including the primary charge of embezzling $1.5 million from the Inyo County Department of Health and Human Services, where Don D. Rossi was employed. The couple has been out on bail since April 2013. Well, after meeting environmental demands in the Eastern Sierra for the irrigation season, the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power removed the temporary dam in the Los Angeles Aqueduct, unblocking the system and allowing exportation of approximately 22,000 acre-feet of water gathered from the Inyo Mono Basin this runoff year to flow south to Los Angeles. This according to a press release from the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power. Now, the temporary dam was put in place in April near the south end of Owens Lake to hold back Eastern Sierra runoff water in the Owens Valley for environmental purposes, this press release states. During this period of extreme drought, the first of its kind dam effort enabled LADWP to successfully meet its environmental and other water commitments in the Owens Valley. Said LADWP General Manager Marcy Edwards, quote, "While our past actions may have contributed to negative impacts in the Eastern Sierra region, our current mitigation efforts are working to not only restore the land, but also our relationship to the local communities," end quote. For more information on this and LADWP's environmental mitigation efforts in the Owens Valley, you can visit the website wsoweb.ladwp.com. And Deb Murphy also filed a story. The Mono County Board of Supervisors expressed sympathy for Matthew Lehman's plight at its meeting on October 20th. However, all that understanding was followed by a lethal but, as the Mono Board voted 4-0 to uphold the noise variance for the Lower Rock Creek Mutual Water Company's new well drilling operation for the 145 shareholders in Paradise. Lehman appealed the variance granted at last month's Planning Commission meeting on the basis of unfairness. Lehman was denied a noise variance in 2005 when he began drilling 2 wells to supply his proposed 50-plus acre Rock Creek Ranch development, a project that abuts Paradise. Now, in 2006, Lehman was granted a noise variance and a 24/7 drilling schedule, but only for 10 days, while the water company's variance ran for 30 days. There's much more on this story by Deb Murphy on our website, sierrawave.net. Well, due to increasing project costs exceeding available resources, the Salvation Army will put on hold plans to construct a new permanent facility on MacIver Street in Bishop. The Salvation Army met with key stakeholders yesterday to review options to raise additional funds needed to fulfill the project budget or to identify a sustainable existing property for renovation to meet the needs for both the core and thrift store operation. Now, that press release notes that the Salvation Army, which has served Inyo and Mono counties since 1997, rents 2 locations in Bishop to operate its critical safety net services, worship programs, and thrift store operations. The intent of the new facility was to alleviate the ongoing costs of leasing space while providing an adequate space to meet the expanding needs of the community. Press release notes that despite the delay of construction, the Salvation Army will continue operations in existing lease space on West Line Street and North Main Street. All contributions toward the building capital campaign have been earmarked accordingly and are being held for when this project is ready to move forward. The press release also states no building capital campaign monies have been used to fund daily operations. You can see the website salvationarmybishop.org for more information. Well, Deb Murphy filed this story for Sierra Wave. Bishop Police Department's new Lieutenant and Interim Chief Ted Steck made his first appearance before the City Council at Monday night's meeting. The council approved his hire at its meeting on October 13th. Steck told the people in attendance that he was thrilled to be here and also complimented Bishop City staff on its professionalism and efficiency. Steck comes to Bishop from the Suisun City Department, where he served as Master Sergeant. He briefly outlined his 25 years of law enforcement experience, ranging from patrol to acting chief at Suisun City. Steck earned a master's in public administration and is a graduate of the FBI National Academy. Steck said, quote, "I lead by example. I believe in mentoring, coaching, and training. That's what was done for me," end quote. Steck will head up the Bishop Police Department, shook up by a published letter of no confidence in now retired Chief Chris Carter that was signed by 7 officers until a new chief is selected. Well, before we take a break, a couple of notes from Lone Pine. Deb Murphy filed a story on Tuesday evening's meeting at Lone Pine Statham Hall, which was billed as a workshop to garner community input on Southern Inyo Hospital's future. Hit with serious cash flow issues, Southern Inyo Hospital is 1 to 2.5 weeks behind on payroll and looking at closure if it can't come up with $13,000 to pay its license fee in the next couple of days. Now, close to 100 community members provided a lot of input, as well as an impromptu fundraising effort to cover the license. By the time a sign-up clipboard had circulated through half of the audience, a total of $7,000 was pledged, with more than a dozen donors signed on with no amount specified. Urge you to see our website, sierrawave.net, for Deb Murphy's entire report on that meeting. And also, Metabolic Studio IOU Radio will be hosting IOU Theater this fall and winter, presenting a series of radio plays that have relevance to the Owens Valley. Performances will be at the Double L Saloon, Main Street, Lone Pine. This Sunday, You Are There, the Water Picnic. Now, this was written by Chris Langley, and this travels through time to 5 days in November 1924, when 100 men from Bishop took over the Alabama Gates Aqueduct spillway near Lone Pine as a protest against Los Angeles' renewed buying of land. They turned the water back to the Owens Valley River, where it belonged. The crowd, including the sheriff, women and children, and an orchestra, grew to 700, and eventually the gathering took on the spirit of a country picnic and barbecue. The play finishes the rest of the story about what happened. A press release notes the carefully researched and historically accurate script by Chris Langley is dedicated to Michael Prather, who has spent his life fighting for water rights of the Owens Valley and learning the history of this era to make him a better advocate and water warrior. Should be fun. That's this Sunday, the Double L Saloon in Lone Pine. Play will also be broadcast live adjacent to the Double L in the Metabolic Studio IOU Garden. You can also catch it on the internet, iouradio.org, and on radio at 89.9 FM. And you can see the entire press release again on sierrawave.net. We'll be back with more news.